Welcome back, y'all, to another episode. It has been a while, and I apologize, but when life is lifing, life lifes. So it's a lot of moving parts at the same time, and I really haven't had time to do personal side gigs, projects, you know. Yeah. If you were to take a gander into my life, it's a lot going on. And yeah. So we're here today, and yeah, let's see what we want to talk about today. So I'll bring this down a little bit. All right, so if you don't know, I do have a YouTube page where I talk about maintenance of cars and how to do things with different car. And particularly, I had my Kia Soul, and the Soul is passed. Um, she needs a new engine, and now I am at a catch 22 with whether to just like trade in the car or keep it as like a fun side project thing for me to learn more about cars. I'm leaning towards two versus the first one because I put a lot of time into that car, a lot of extras into that car. I added I added a head unit, and I may talk techie real quick, but basically a head unit is basically like a new radio, but it was like this like 13-inch screen, big screen. It had a CD player or a DVD player. I can watch movies in the car. It had Android Play and CarPlay, Bluetooth. Like it was nice, right? That was one addition that I did. I also put LED headlights on the car, front and back. I also did I put some footwell lights. I was on track to potentially, oh, you know what I forgot? I was on track to potentially put, let me get the right mic real quick. Boom. We good. I got too many mics at the desk. I'm gonna change this real quick. Y'all bear with me real quick. I like this mic better. Hello. Okay. Back to the scheduled program. I was on track to put a oh, I wanted to, but I couldn't justify the price for this older car. But I wanted to put heated seats in the car. I wanted to do aftermarket heated seats. I found the videos on how to do it. It seemed pretty easy. It's not easy. It's very time consuming, but it was doable. It seemed doable. Um, or I wasn't to pay somebody aftermarket to do it, but that was like 2 grand. All right. And now the car is worth that. So is it worth it? Anyhow, yeah. So that's the fiasco with the car right now. So I'm gonna talk about today because I had to intro that because this is where we're going at today. I had to intro my I had to intro that to tell you about my car buying experience this go around. Um, I'm the type of person that I don't get a new car just to get a new car. I get a new car because I need a new car. And for me, flashy, a car is a car to me. And, yes, there's all grades of cars. There's different types of cars. There's, sports car. I mean, you can go the full gambit when it comes to cars. For me, not that big a deal. What I need is takeoff. I need horsepower. That's the requirement for myself. And then I need the creature comforts inside. I need my heated seats. I don't need the heated seats. It's nice to have the heated seats. So that's the added plus. But I do need my Android Auto requirement. Um, I would like powered um driver's seat. That's a perk, not a need, but a strong want. Um, what else was on my want list? I needed an engine that was reliable. And yeah. And now that I know about the things that I know about Kia, I love my car. I do. I don't love the engine in the car because the company really just cut corners on that. They know they have issues. They don't care. So what do? Buy a new car. So nowadays people don't really care about the quality that they put out in terms of automobiles. I don't think cars are supposed to, I don't think cars can make it to 20 years anymore, especially if you're using it like a daily car. If you're barely driving that bitch, sure, it'll last 20 years. But if it's a daily car, you're not gonna, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, uh, the other things that I wanted in a car that was kind of like a need for me is what else was it? I think those were the immediate, right? I think those were the immediates for that. Everything else I can bend on a little bit. I didn't really care about the color of the car. Oh, the other need for me was I wanted another midsize. I don't want a big midsize. I want a smaller midsize. Like kind of like the Kia Soul size, right? The Kia actually is like the perfect size car. It's the perfect car for people that are handicapped. It's the perfect car, and when I say handicapped, I mean those that do not require a wheelchair because that's a whole nother ball game. But those that have kind of limited mobility where they can still walk around, but getting in and out of the car is way easier in that car because it's literally you're stepping sideways versus going down, pulling yourself up, climbing up. It's a lateral movement. So that's why I would recommend the car. But even for older people, I would recommend that car because it's a good size car. It's a good crash rating on the car, but the engine is absolute trash. The engine is absolute trash. And yeah, so I say all that to say this new car that I got, she's cute. She's cute. I feel like she's a she. White car. It's a 2023 Chevy Trailblazer. Now, being that I've studied a little bit more with engines, this, that, and the other, I did a quick Google search because I didn't have full research capabilities before I found this car. I always liked the way it looked, right? But going by looks will get you in trouble. And that's in everything. So did a quick research on the car, didn't see anything too troubling. I did see one thing that was kind of concerning, but it didn't seem like it was on grand scale as the issue. The issue was a braking issue, which is actually pretty major, but it doesn't seem like it's a lot of cars. So we decided to take the chance. So we hit the car. Um, My car buying experience was unlike any other that I've ever had. Now, mind you, I've never had a bad car experience. This is not a bad car experience. This is just a different perspective car experience. So, when I was looking for the soul, I was in a moment where I just didn't have like liquid cash. I just didn't have cash. I didn't have cash to put down a car. If I did, it was probably like 1,000, maybe $2,000. Boom. And mind you, this is all unexpected how I got to having to get the soul. So I do have a video on the YouTube page about how I found my soul and how we got to that point. And it's a very interesting story, in my opinion. But one for the books for sure. When I do write my book, that story is going in the book. But um, this car buying experience, it was smooth. It was it was like I hate buying cars. I hate going through that process. I hate the unknown because a car is a true unknown when it comes to that. You don't know what you buying, and you gonna be married to that bitch for about 4 to 5 years, depending on your loan. If you're lucky, well, unless you're lucky to not have a loan. So this experience now, so before I didn't have cash, this time I got cash. I got monies, right? So I'm able to put a significant amount down. I'm able to put half of a car down for down payment, right? So, I'm just like, all right, cool. I know what I got. I know what I can pull real quick. And then I know kind of the price range of cars right now. I wasn't expecting to go this new, but since we're here, cool. Mind you, I had those requirements that I stated earlier. So started looking for cars. I eventually wind up at a enterprise sales place. I went there before. Was it? I went to Hearst before when I got the Soul, and I had a good experience with buying a used car from a rental place only because I know maintenance wise, for the most part, it's going to be kept up because it's all, they have to keep that up. So you're in good shape there, right? Um, when it comes to the money side of it, it's the price is flat. The price is what it is. There's no haggle, there's no hassle. There is no going back and forth. There's no debating on the price. I like that. Um, I respect that. It's just straight up, you don't have to feel any less about a situation because I will tell you, as a female going into the automotive world, you get talked down to. So I oftentimes have to convince people that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to cars. And I usually do when it comes to cars because I study it to a degree to be able to teach other people on it. So I got to know it to show it. So there we go. So I just many a times I have to go into situations where people don't think I know what I'm talking about. And I have to drop keywords. I have to use terminology. I have to use verbiage. All of those are the same thing, but you know what I mean. To say, hey, I can be in this conversation, and you're not just gonna tell me any old shit, and I'm gonna just sign up with it, and I'm gonna go forth with it because I need a car. I will rather be without a car than buy the wrong car. Anywho, so find this car. Car seems okay. Car ride's fine. This is still very fresh for me. The car is probably like a week old. That's the story in itself. It's like a week old, and I sacrificed a little bit on the engine in terms of horsepower. I just chopped it up to Mel. You shouldn't be driving that fast anyway. You don't need to drive that fast. You could get to 60, 70, and that's really where you should be at. You shouldn't be no higher than that. So, okay. But sometimes I just like to go, I just like to be gone and just like everybody get away from me and I just want to drive by myself. Y'all, I just want to be in between the two packs of people. And yeah. But I just realized that that's just how I have to change my driving style. Little did I know. One day I'm driving to go to a stretch appointment. I see, mind you, sorry, I did buy the car. I got the car, obviously I got the car. The car buying experience was phenomenal, very smooth. Um, should I tell you about the money part first? I'm gonna come back to the money part. But I buy the car weekend, 6 days. This is the seventh day coming up, right? The next day will be the seventh day. The salespeople said I have 7 days to return the car. So in the 7 days, I'm thinking, are we good? Should I take it back? Should I keep it? I'm okay losing $250 for a restocking fee. Not that big of a deal. Like, what do I do? Day six happens. I'm going to the stretching appointment. Mind you, the drive is maybe 10 minutes. It's not even that far. And I see the check engine light pop the fuck on. And then I see engine has low power. What the does that mean? What does it mean? What does that mean? So here I am. I still got to go to the appointment because I got to get there. Mind you, I waited. I I gave myself 5 minutes of space to get there from 10 minutes. It's maybe 10 minutes if I'm driving slower. Probably 8. I gave myself a little bit of space to like get there. And I see I see these things on my dash. I'm like, what the? I just got the car. I just got the car. I just got the car. I just got a car. I just got the car. So now I'm like double time thinking like, do I drive this car back home and just return it, or do I try and get it fixed? But I do remember that I bought warranty. I did pay for warranty. And supposedly the warranty states that it will cover everything under the hood. That's what they say. All right. So, and I did look at the pamphlet and there was a lot of options of things that it could cover. And one thing that I did make sure to look for that it covers is that braking system that many people, well, not many people, but other people were having with their Trailblazers. So I'm like, okay, they say under the hood. This is under the hood because it's engine power, right? So one thing also that I have, and I just because I try to be as prepared as can be, but I'm not always prepared, and that's fine. But it's a safety thing for me to at least have an idea of how to handle situations. And in this situation, I have I think it's an OBD2 tool, and basically it's just you read the engine codes if the engine light pops on, so I don't feel like the car's gonna blow up, right? So I'm like, I still got to go to the stretch appointment. And mind you, I can't stop now to figure out what's going on. I got to go to the appointment. I got to get out the car. I got straight to the appointment because I don't have time to do anything else. Um, I do make sure that I brought the tool, which I'm glad I took that from the other car because I was like, I'll be good. I don't need the tool. I'm glad I put that tool in the car. So yeah, go to stretch appointment. Now we're able to play the game. Finds out that it's a P code, something with the turbocharger. And I'm like, yeah. So I call the dealership and schedule an appointment, take it there. Oh, this part. Okay, take it there. Next day, dealership start looking at it. They call me. The rep that I'm working with is very nice. And you said that I'm working with because I'm still working to fix these issues with the car right now. Yeah. It's just, I really feel like overall, before I get into the car repair part of the story, I really feel like God is testing my patience and yeah. Um I'm not impatient. I want to I want to check this shit off of my list, but I can't check the car situation off of my list of many things that I got going on because it's still ongoing. I thought, and this is a vent session, y'all. I thought that when my engine died on my car, on my old car, on the Soul, I thought when the engine died, all right, cool. We know we gotta buy a car now. Bought the car. Bought a new car. This car is on less than 2 years old. We are now in 2025. So it's about to be two whenever it was manufactured. Whatever. I thought that at bare minimum, I would have a break from the car issue and just be good. Not yet. Um, so yeah, I think that I'm being tested in terms of that, in terms of like just holding out to like complete the thing. Um, and I don't, and this is honestly is the way I work too. Like I work in IT, so I work helping people. I have issues that are on my queue that I have to like fix so I can close the ticket. I can't, this is the trend right now for like the last month. I have things on my list that I can't finish because of like weird scenarios. And I'm just like, okay, these are not quick fixes, fix issues. The car is not that either, apparently. So take the car to the dealership the next day. They tell me what's wrong with it, turbocharger, and then a purge pump issue, right? Mind you, the car that I got from Enterprise is certified pre-owned, whatever the fuck that means. basically, I'm assuming before they tried to sell the car, it goes through AAA, the people check it out. Hey, everything good, cool. Put it up for sale. Well, apparently, get a call from my rep and they tell me, okay, yeah, the turbocharger needs to be replaced, cool. And the purge pump. I'm like, okay. He said, but strong on the butt. He says, but the turbocharger, the warranty people will cover the turbocharger, but they're not gonna cover the purge pump. Okay, cool. Um, why won't they cover the purge pump? Well, they state that the car is too newly purchased. So the car is too newly purchased to me. They said, nah, we ain't paying for that. We not paying for that. Nope. Well, we'll pay for that other thing. Well, we ain't paying for that one. So I asked the rep, I said, well, how much is the purge pump? Because at most, I just want to get the shit done. So, and if it's a reasonable price, I will pay for it, get the shit done, move the fuck on. This man tells me this purge pump is $500. Who's paying $500 and I just paid $21,000 for this car? You are wild. No, I'm not paying for that. Mm-mm. 200 may have been the max. 200 may have been the max. May have been. 500? No wonder why the warranty people don't pay for it. They say no, because it. So call Enterprise. Enterprise is like, can you bring the car back tomorrow? No, the fuck I can't. I cannot bring the car tomorrow. You know why? Because I'm 3 hours away from there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't bring the car. So now I got an appointment scheduled with AAA so they can go look at the car. Um the dealership says that they'll have the turbocharger part tomorrow. Just bring the car in tomorrow. Cool. So I bring the car in and I go to work. Mind you, I'm trapped at work. I don't like to feel trapped. I am trapped at work because I can't leave when I want to. I got to leave by asking somebody to go. I don't like that. I hate it with my whole spirit. I hate being trapped into a situation and I can't be free. Um, so I go to work, I work my day. Mind you, that was a rough day. That was a rough day for me. I'm like, all right, cool. Got turbocharger part, boom, da 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 da. They get the part. So mind you, this is day one. They tell me was wrong Monday. I think it's Wednesday now. I think it's Wednesday. They tell me bring the car in on Wednesday. The part should be there. Cool. I bring the car back. Actually, no. When did this start? Oh, wait. This started on Tuesday. I bring the car on Wednesday. They tell me to bring the car back in on Thursday to do this turbocharger part. They is the dealership. Take it there, get a notification about the parts being ordered. They tell me the parts is on the way. Get the parts there. Then they're like, "Oh, we got the parts. We started changing out the part, and then we realized they didn't pack a gasket in the kit. So you got to bring the car in tomorrow." So I'm literally on day three of trying to get this damn turbocharger part swapped on this fucking car. Um, I will say, despite everything, people have been very nice with the situation because I don't know, I'm in a different headspace. I'm not even like, I'm not even upset. I'm just laughing at the scenario of this whole shit because I've never just bought a car, have car issues. This needs to be swapped. Oh, you don't have any car power. So you're gonna lose gas mileage or performance. Take it to them. Oh, we have the part. Wait, we don't have all the parts. AAA's like, hey, bring it back down the street 3 hours away because we want to look at the part. Can't do that because now I have to leave it there over the weekend so they can put the gasket with the other parts in the car. Now your girl's out of her car. But they did give me a rental car. However, I need my car to take it back home. I need my car to take it back home so AAA can look at the part to see if they're gonna swap or not even swap the part, but pay for the swap on the part. Because Mel is not paying $500 for that part. I refuse on my life to pay for that part. I will not pay for that part on the car because I just bought this car. I paid for this car half cash, half loan, with warranty for 5 years. Somebody else is paying for this. OPM, not mine. So that whole car buying, not even the buying, the whole mechanic issue right now is absolutely bananas. I've never, ever, ever dealt with a situation or heard of anybody else deal with the situation right out the gate on the car. So now I'm thinking that the vibes is wrong with the car. But what I'm hoping is on the other side of this, we'll be set for a while. The car has 50,000 miles on it. I mean, the damn thing is new. It's new. It's basically new. But yeah, that's my veg spiel on that part. Now, on the other side, the probably the non-dramatic side of it is the car buying experience. Went to enterprise sales. The price is flat, right? Paid with half cash, half loan. Got a pre-approved, whatever. I went to my bank. Mind you, I found the car one day, and then I want to say by the next day, maybe 2 days, I had key in hand. Now, I was talking to the rep, and I told him I had to move money around to get the cash because I have it, just not in the same spot. Now, it's like a little trick that I do when it comes to finances. I like to have like 4 or 5 accounts. Now, not a lot of money's in it, but I like to hide money from myself, and just have like auto movements, just putting things into the accounts. So in times of like angst, I got money somewhere that I didn't know. Because mind you, if I see money, my hand gets a little hot and I want to like spend it, but I shouldn't. It's not the right thing to do because obviously in a situation like this, you need cash. So I had to move it around, this, that, and the other. And I went to the bank, and one thing that I noticed with this whole car buying experience is when you got cash, people move. Like when you got money, and honestly, the amount that I had was not even real money. It's very small in the grand scale of the 1% that have a lot of money. People moved for money. Wow. Okay. And I just, I was a little bit flabbergasted by how quickly they were able to pre-approval was no problem. Um, oh, we talked about monthly payments and how I got it to what I wanted it to be, not like, oh, we this is what we can do. Like the conversations were completely different than what it was before. So I found that interesting. I also found it interesting that essentially, as long as I was able to get the bill of sale, I think that's what it's called, from the people, from the enterprise people, and then give it to my bank, homegirl constructed the loan like that. Done. She was nice. Prompt. I was working with the manager because the girl had to leave early and the manager had us going. Um, I was just I was pleasantly surprised that this car buying experience was so much better when you got cash. So if you ain't got money, get yourself some cash. Like save your money as much as you can. I know it's gonna be hard now with the administration that's in office right now because everything's expensive and things are not stable right now. But I thought it was so interesting to see how people were moving when you got cash. And I can understand I can understand to a degree, right? Now we're gonna bring this to um we're gonna bring this to a life lesson, okay? When it comes to opportunities that come up, right? You have this opportunity now, I have cash, I'm able to pay for this stuff. And you notice how things are shifting and people are like kind of mending to what you need. This is the moment where you have to still maintain the humble ear. You have to be humble because if you are not, you're gonna abuse the now discovered power that is behind money. And for some reason, the people that is fame and money, those are the two things that people like fiend over uncomfortably so. When it comes to, but we're talking about money here. When it comes to money, and you realize now that people are like, oh, they moving for this money. I just gotta get more money and more people move for me. Yes, but like, what good can you do with this money? Now, sidebar real quick, but not really. Diddy. That's really all you gotta say. Diddy is a person that learned about money very early on in his adolescent. They say he became like a millionaire in like 19, right? And what bothered me, this is why young people probably should not have money, like lots of money, because it's a lot harder to be humble when you're young, dumb, and got money. And then you also notice how other people fiend for the money that you have. So now you are in a position of power. You can dictate how people move around you, right? And I always try to like, I try not to go into situations with an ego. I don't think I have an ego. You know, I may tell you something you may not want to hear, but I promise you is coming from a I want you to do better standpoint versus like I'm judging you, you ain't shit. Like it's never that. I'm never like gonna downplay you. I'm never gonna at most it's gonna be the conversation of um God, what's the term? It's more of the I'm boosting you up. But you gotta do the self-evaluate right now. We gotta like really look at what's really going on type situation. We can't be delusional in this moment. We gotta look at the cards that are here now and how we got here. And how do we improve that? How do we become better from that? That's what I try to aim for when I work with people. And Diddy, on the other hand, realize this power that he has with money. And then he also realizes the desperation of those that want to be in the industry and do their dream. So he's dangling this little piece in front of you. And he does not like it when you are not like puppy dog, like, oh my God, I gotta get the thing. He don't like that. When you stand 10 toes down for you, he don't like that. He don't like that self-power. He likes desperate people. He likes people that really would give their life to be famous, or not even be famous, but to do the thing that their heart desires in terms of the music industry, talented, all these things. Diddy had so many talented artists and he shit on them. Literally. So I think Diddy learning about power at a young age was very detrimental to his psyche, and then how he spread that. He's truly an evil person. Like, and it's always funny to me because as a kid, I was watching, what sold me on him being as awful as he is. As a kid, watching Making the Band, right? I've always loved watching reality TV shows because I always like watching how people move. I like to see, I really should have been psychology, but I'm not. But I like to see how people move in different situations, how they respond, how they talk, all these different aspects to a person. I like to see how people evolve, form, grow, all that, right? And there was one episode, everybody knows this episode that watched Making the Band. It was that episode where he is kikiing with them, like they all like, oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. And he's like, you know what? I want some, I want some motherfucking cheesecake. Yeah, yeah, I want me some motherfucking cheesecake. And they all like laughing, like, oh yeah, I want me cheesecake from somewhere in another city that was like, I don't even know. Basically it was in Brooklyn, I think it was. Wherever he was, they were not in Brooklyn. So he's like, yeah, get me some cheesecake. Yo, they walked. It had to have been like a couple hours of walking to go get this cheesecake. And they just so happened got there right before it closed to get this cheesecake, right? Now, what we know about Diddy now is how awful he is, making them just go walk because you wanted some cheesecake. You couldn't just tell one of your drivers to go get a damn cheesecake, drive, go get the cheesecake and bring it back. You were like, no, I have to make them feel less about themselves because they need something from me, right? The narcissist in him. Um, that was the thing that really just about Diddy. Like truly, Diddy does not like a strong mouth woman. Hates it. Strongly hates it. But um it was it's for me, the things that I watch about people is how do you move when you are clearly in an advantage on somebody else? Do you showboat that advantage? Do you like do you make them feel less about themselves? Do you try and boost them up? Do you try to make them be better? Do you try to grow them so they can eventually be on your level? Like, how are you in the position of power when you are obviously the person in power? How do you act? That will describe your character. And in that moment with Diddy sending them to Brooklyn for this cheesecake, that showed me that, and mind you, I was like, I had to have been like 13, 14, 15, maybe. I don't think I was even that high. I had to have been like 13 or 14 watching this and being like, yo, he's not, mm, no, no, that ain't it for me. Like, no. And now all the things that are coming out about Diddy just like uber confirmed to me that I was 1,000% right on this person. I did not have the hard proof why I don't like him, but I understand now. The same thing for me with Drake. I can't give you, well, now I could, but before I couldn't give you tangible why I just didn't like Drake. I just don't like Drake. I don't like Drake as a person. And well, let me rephrase. I'm gonna pull back on that statement. I don't like Drake as what is perceived online about him in terms of like how he moves, how he acts. Like it's a little weird. Like I feel like he's just feeding to be liked. I'm like, you're literally Drake. People like you. Like, you don't have to like try hard. I don't like people that try hard. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Wear your barrettes, all that shit. Be yourself. So, um, but the thing of yeah, Diddy just whoo. And then now all these horrible stories coming out about him, like things that he's done to people. Yeah. Diddy is a horrible person. Um, by far one of the worst human beings on this earth. And I hate that I hate that he preys on people's desperation to be in the music industry. Um, Also, sidebar, all the people that co-signed with him and was like, who upheld this character's questionable. It's not even questionable. It's like you literally are complicit. And I don't rock with stuff like that. Like I would rather be without. I would rather be blackballed than to kiss up to money. And this goes to our overall like I'm just gonna speak on America. Our overall desire for money. I personally hate money. And if people always correct me, it's like, well, you hate the love for money. I hate money because money has created this love for money. So back in the day, people bartered. We just barter. We barter. We exchange goods. Um, I think having a tangible thing has created a lot of evil, more evil than normal. Um, it has allowed people to have that thing that, oh, I got this thing that you don't have, but you want this thing, don't you? What are you going to do for the thing? I don't like that language. I don't like that, you know. But yeah, and I'm gonna, this is like a weird segue. It's not even weird. It's literally perspective on money, which equates to power, and what you do with that power. When you're in the position of being in power, how do you handle that? How do you work with people? Do you use people? Do you grow people? Do you are you trying to make the world a better place type thing? Like, what do you do with this power that God has tested you with, right? What do you do with it? And yeah, I think Diddy knows he's a horrible person. It was just a matter of time before he got caught, and he knows that. And yeah, yeah. So as I'm recording this, I don't know if I'll post it. I don't know if I'll post this. I may post it, because I haven't posted in a while. But hopefully, y'all, after this weekend, Monday, I will have my car back. Because I mean, the car's cute. I mean, I think it fits my vibes. I think I really want some tinted windows. That's next on the list. But I need my car to do that. Because the sun is glaring in a girl's face, and I can't handle it. I can't handle bright lights. The only bright one I want to see is when I go see God. That's about it. Woo, it's a lot. But yeah, um, yeah. The takeaway from this is two things: have cash when you go buy a car. Figure out how to get and maintain cash for when you have an emergency, and be able to drop the money down in that car. And kind of control what your bill will be. The other thing is, who are you when you are in when look, try this again. Who are you when you are presented with a position of power? How do you interact with people? How do you affect people? What do you do with this power? Do you use it selfishly or do you share the goods? Um, those things will determine a part of your character. And I think in today's world, character is something that is far and few between. People possess a character trait. However, whether it is good or bad, whew, it's a little questionable. Um, so I try my hardest, even when people wrong me, I'm gonna get you back. It's not gonna be nearly to the magnitude at which you may have done me wrong, but I am gonna make you think in regret for how you have treated me or whatever situation may have involved me. I'm not gonna deliberately get you, but I will let the situations and questions that I ask you make you really deep think about your actions in that moment, right? Whether it's right or wrong, I guess it depends on the person, but I low key mother you in a indirect way. I question, I throw questions at you to make you think deeper about your action or actions. Um, but I will never ever get at you the way you got me. And I will always be fine with being like, you know what, they got me. Hey, what can I do? Like, I'm fine taking that loss. But I know in the long run, I still win because I didn't stoop to the level to have to get somebody to prove a point. But I will make you question yourself, and hopefully the next time you're in a situation, most likely won't be with me, but how do you act with that person? So again, um yeah, I hope there was some slight takeaway. You know a little bit about my life. You know, I rambled probably a little bit, but I do feel like it was helpful to somebody. And yeah, and I think we all have seen some Diddy documentary and realized how horrible his actions was. And yeah, y'all be breezy, take it easy, and stay positive, and good luck in the next 4 years because it's gonna be a ride, my friends.